That's right. Welcome back. Of course, Chris Landry joining us right here on your Louisiana Go Nation. Always breaking down the plays for us, always breaking down the offense. By the way, this is a different offense than we saw just a few weeks ago. The wide receivers are emerging, but there's a reason. I want you to listen in. Coach O talking on Monday, of course, about some of the things that they've actually changed scheme-wise. Listen in.
First of the year, they wasn't getting open, so we changed some things that we're doing. More crossing route, more mesh routes, more digs, more intermediate three-level routes, play action pass.
Yeah, and Chris, back there at home, everyone's hearing crossing routes. Okay, I think I know what that means. What's a mesh route? What's a dig? Some people know a dig, obviously. Three-level routes. Kind of break this down in layman's terms.
Well,
Chris.
really, you want to be able to attack defenses and make defenses defend you horizontally and vertically. And three levels are just short, medium, and deep. And in order to be able to create the proper spacing, you've got to mesh those routes, the combination together, running one off of another. That gets defenses spaced out. What you don't want to do is run routes that are going to compress the field and allow less defenders to be able to cover a smaller area because that's where all the players are. So the ability to be able to spread out, it's kind of the same concept in basketball, spreading people out and making you in backdoor cuts. Well, that same concept is in place with running routes, and they have done a good job. Now, there's a reason for that, and people say, well, why didn't you do that early? Well, it's one thing to have it in the system, but it's another thing to coincide it and run it properly at the proper depth and stem your routes correctly, which is breaking off your routes, making every route look the same.
Let's look ahead 1 week, of course. We're looking ahead already to that Georgia matchup. Coming to Tiger Stadium, 2:30 p.m. CBS is going to be here. Talk about what the Bulldogs have done. Looks like the same old Georgia I've been watching for 3-4 decades here.
It looks every bit like Alabama. The personnel, the top recruiting classes in the country, how they're developing guys, 2 quarterbacks that they're relying on, 4 running backs that they're rotating, lots of receivers, tight end, offensive line, defensive line, young but a bunch of guys that can run. The one thing I see this year on tape is that even though they're not playing their best ball, they're still dominating opponents by a pretty large margin. And what I'm noticing is they've got a little bit of a problems on their offensive line, but when Ben Cleveland gets back, they'll be in a lot better shape. Listen, they are below Alabama, everybody is, but they're above everybody else in the SEC as a program. This will be a challenge for them, no doubt, coming to Tiger Stadium. They're still young on defense, but they're really talented. They're very well coached, and you know, Georgia will have to play poorly for somebody to beat them other than Alabama, and they're just that talented a football team.
That is, of course, where the home field advantage, Death Valley, Tiger Stadium, the mystique, it's got to be back for this game. It's got to be in full effect. In full effect with us, of course, Chris Landry, LandryFootball.com. Go check out all of his stuff. Great write-ups, of course, breaking down LSU right here on your Louisiana Go Nation. We'll have more right after this.